This is group number 3 for Information System Technology Class 609, Volkswagen Case Analysis, Case 3-2. Our group consists of Sarah Bryant, Carrie Dempster, Rusty Safford, Jeffrey Smith, and Julia Webb. We will be discussing general issues of Volkswagen, the main stakeholders, theories and concepts, symptoms and problems, alternatives and evaluation criteria, best solution and implementation plan, evaluation and review of the project, and the current status update. General issues. Volkswagen was founded in Germany in the 1930s by Ferdinand Porsche. By the 1940s, the introduction of the Beetle made history. In 1960, Volkswagen North America sales began to vary. By the 1970s, Beetle's popularity began to decline, and in the 1990s, poor sales leads to a low point for the company. In 2000, Dr. Bernd Pischet's writer, Strategy of Diversification, became a focal point for the company. Among the issues were overcapacity of automobiles in the industry, currency exchange rates were unfavorable, rising oil prices, the next round of growth organizational readiness program, VW of America over 40 proposed projects totaling $210 million, and a budget of $60 million, which was the amount capped by Volkswagen of Germany. Among the challenges were how to implement the blueprint strategy, how to build customer loyalty, improve vehicle value, make infrastructure more stable, and increase the pre-owned vehicle business, as well as optimize the supply flow. The internal stakeholders for Volkswagen of America included the Executive Leadership Team, the Information Technology Steering Committee, Business and Information Technology Processes Team, Organization Department, and Program Management Department. Main stakeholders for the external were Gatus USA and Perot Systems, which was the IT service provider, both part of the Volkswagen Group.
Hi, my name is Sarah Bryant, and I will be discussing the next few items of the case study. I will first discuss theory and concepts, followed by symptoms and problems. There are several key main points that should be addressed in theory and concepts. Volkswagen of America strives to create value in their business model through focusing on key components that drive value, such as stay in business, return on investment, option creating investment, developing strong IT infrastructure, and prioritizing projects. Furthermore, through enterprise goal ranking for project prioritization, Volkswagen of America identified the following goal areas: 1. Customer loyalty. 2. New vehicle value. 3. Stable business infrastructure. 4. Pre-owned vehicle business. And 5. Optimization of the supply flow. Concepts to perform include outsourcing of specific contracts, implementation of key groups and processes such as business process, technology, and organization, next round of growth, program management office, digital business council, IT steering committee, and executive leadership team. In addition, it should include prioritized investment strategies and product line diversification. Lastly, Volkswagen of America maintains several important capabilities: strong decision-making processes and governance. The focus is on finding business unit projects in order of goal portfolios. Maintain strong IT foothold with business process, technology, and organization, as well as project management office under the business process, technology, and organization requires planning prior to project execution and regular evaluation processes. The next area of discussion is symptoms and problems and the related decision criteria. One symptom is the need for improved IT and IT governance. Problems associated with this symptom include the fact that there are multiple IT providers and undefined internal IT management. Decision criteria should consider enhanced internal IT capabilities and knowledge as well as overall management. Another symptom includes the complaints from executive leadership teams regarding the lack of funding for their projects. Problems associated with this symptom include the fact that there is minimal funding budgeted to fulfill all projects. Decision criteria should include the prioritization of projects and ensure funding for those projects, as well as address other projects if funding is available. The third symptom is that the fact that there is slow new product development and from that development to the market. Problems associated with this include decreased sales and manufacturer competition. Decision criteria should include product diversification strategies, project prioritization, and consolidation of brands.
Hi, I'm Julia Webb, and I will be presenting the alternatives and evaluation criteria. The first alternative would be to do nothing. Keep the NRG goals of funding business units in order of goal portfolio, and the Global Supply Chain Management project will have to end in the middle of the project. The pros: it creates consistency in IT systems and policies. It stays within budget and decreases chances of deficits. Stabilizes infrastructure for Volkswagen of America. And unselected units will still have a chance to complete their projects after high priority projects are completed. The cons: disagreements between executives, unhappy units that may experience low morale among employees, incomplete global strategy, which may lose some global market share. Alternative number 2, revert back to unstructured way of making decisions for projects. The pros: executives whose projects are selected are happy and units are productive. Committees and groups will need to be formed for decisions and evaluation of project importance. The cons: no consistency, stability, or organization for project development. Overspending of budget funds and misuse of authority by projects starting and ending at wrong times. A third alternative in regarding global supply chain project would be acquire funding from global Volkswagen companies or investments. The pros: establishing an affiliation between Volkswagen of America and global Volkswagen companies. It may accomplish good acquisitions. It may grow Volkswagen of America's market share by establishing global partnerships. Cons: an agreement would require Volkswagen of America to follow investor sanctions. A percent of Volkswagen of America global share will be tied into investments or global Volkswagen until the agreement has expired or payout is achieved. The fourth and final alternative would be to redistribute budget so more funds are available. Pros: more units could receive funding for projects and complete projects. Units would no longer feel that the Stay in Business initiative is receiving majority of funding. Cons: funding may be taken away from higher priority projects, and some units will still be left out due to lack of budget funds. That completes the alternatives and evaluation criteria. Next up is Jeff Smith.
This is Jeff Smith, and I will be covering Best Solution and Implementation Plan, as well as Evaluation and Project Review. Best Solution and Implementation Plan. Employing the Next Round of Growth NRG program is the best solution. NRG will create an internal IT unit with a formalized project prioritization process. Implementation Plan. In order for Volkswagen of America to develop an IT system that will give them the tools to better achieve the company's goals, we propose a 3-step strategy. Step 1. Conduct an internal marketing campaign demonstrating the value of IT. Simplify the project prioritization process. Focus on choosing IT projects with low break-even points and high return on investment for the first few years to increase company confidence in IT. Step 2. Ask the parent company to grant an increase in the IT budget cap. Make sure the prioritization process provides funding for Volkswagen of America mandated projects, and loosen the focus on short-term projects. Step 3. Request that Volkswagen of America remove the IT budget cap. Leverage the current legacy system using a service-oriented architecture approach, and remove global supply flow projects from the prioritization process and ask that Volkswagen of America fund it from another source. This strategy will help change the negative perception of IT throughout Volkswagen of America and elevate it to a positive and constructive asset. This positive perception mixed with an initial focus on short turnaround projects will demonstrate that IT can indeed be profitable. This will allow Volkswagen of America to ask for a gradual increase in the budget cap until they can hopefully get the cap removed. This in turn will allow Volkswagen to update their IT department and gain the tools to further achieve the company's goals. In addition, we recommend simplifying the prioritization process in order to gain adoption by the business units. And finally, we feel strongly about using a service-oriented architecture approach to leverage Volkswagen's legacy systems and to get the greatest return from the IT budget. Evaluation and review of project. The IT project budget was capped at $60 million, while the proposed project budget was at $210 million. Funding for IT projects was inadequate, thus causing business units to become very competitive in pushing their projects. IT projects funding was allocated by how much the project aligned with the company's goals. Volkswagen was not effective in prioritizing projects, as one of the most important projects was underfunded because of the flawed system. Volkswagen made an error by cutting their IT department after outsourcing, contributing to the company's IT deficiencies. There were multiple providers with no single department to oversee the overall process. Volkswagen had a good idea to reduce IT costs by prioritizing projects in order to isolate the most important ones, but delayed on acting upon it. With NRG implemented, projects and processes were now linked with corporate goals.
So to finish off the video itself, we're going to talk today a little bit about the future of Volkswagen and the way their future is going to be in the world market today. So Volkswagen's group research indicates that trends and revolutionary automobile concepts focus on powertrain, body, operation, and safety, most important. Future research of the company concentrates on early recognition of new technologies and new social trends on the technology itself, and with the ability to roadmap and interconnect with Wi-Fi and other technically enhanced devices. Volkswagen engine and fuel strategy caters to these demands, revealing revolutionary paths to CO2-free mobility, so low emissions. In this process, electric drive systems play just as an important role as a highly efficient combustion engines. So very important that this is actually going to drive and save fuel economy, save emissions. Both the systems itself rely more heavily on renewable energy sources, since the stability of the technology is essential, dependent upon the generation of energy it uses. So with electricity, it's actually going to save fuel and emissions itself, and it's going to be sustainable energy, but that's using the technology that we've created now today with the automobile makers. That is why Volkswagen supports the supply of necessary drive technologies, the development and increased usage of environmentally friendly fuels and energy sources, again, driven through technology, such as an increased with biogenetic fuels and the integrated renewable energy electricity obviously used within the engine. In the future, progress in networking and communication will be a significant contribution of vehicle innovations. Networking is a constant growth and development within the company, and will continue to use the interconnecting vehicle systems that will help the vehicle grow and actually learn from the outside world. So very new technology there, driven through the system. This brings new opportunities of communication and information for vehicles and users alike, as well as innovative vehicles and travel applications. New navigation possibilities in the networked world today and tomorrow come from their own on everyday journeys, bringing a new quality of traveling and planning to families of or single drivers or families themselves. This makes it easier for the vehicle to interact with humans and through intelligent new approaches to operating vehicles and displaying information. So looking a little ahead, group research took a good, strong look at tradition of the vehicle itself. So they didn't want to lose the integrity of the company. But they looked at numerous innovations, including the automatic parking system, which is very technologically advanced. They also use a DSG gearbox or pump nozzle technology. Makes it so the vehicle doesn't have a shift. It doesn't feel like it shifts when actually it's going through the gear. So very smooth in the way it does it. And this is what's coming in the future for the vehicle itself. To finally wrap up the conclusion and the presentation, the current trends are analyzed and innovations in the field of virtual technologies are integrated as part of the ongoing research and help grow new ideas, which will in turn help the company grow into one of the best automobile makers in the world. But it's through technology, innovation, and the ability to grow and learn from the outside world that's making this company suitable for the future. Without IT and the ability to grow and advance with technology, the company would not be where it is today. So this is wrapping up the presentation, and have a great evening.